So far, 2018 has already had some fantastic movies, including the first movie from Studio Ponoc, consisting of former Studio Ghibli members Mary and the Witch's Flower, Alex Garland's latest film, Annihilation, who, by the way, according to Carl Urban, actually directed Dredd, so he's pretty much my GOAT right now. And of course, the mega blockbuster Black Panther, which has broken over $1 billion in ticket sales. And yet, there's still more to come. What's up guys, I'm Dave Klein, and what are the top 10 movies to look out for this spring and summer? I mean, we haven't seen them yet, but they look good. And before going on, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons for more great content on TV shows and films, as we'll be sure to cover those as they release. Especially Fantastic Beasts. HP for life! We have tons of Avengers Infinity War content coming up, including a video on how the Avengers can kill Thanos, so make sure to subscribe. I'm usually pretty skeptical when it comes to video game adaptations. Uwe Boll scarred me for life with House of the Dead, Far Cry, Blood Rain, Alone in the Dark, and In the Name of the King, A Dungeon Siege Tale.
I knew you'd come.
I told you I would.
I mean, I felt it. I felt it before you came.
Don't watch that one. And let's face it, not much else has even graced being mediocre, except for Silent Hill. I like that one. But surprisingly, Rampage looks like it could actually be pretty good. The film stars the ever-charismatic Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Guys, he's masturbating again. Can't believe it. Like, again.
And is adapted from the classic 1986 arcade game. Similar to the game, a giant ape, wolf, and lizard are destroying a city as people try to stop them. And there's where the similarities end, as there really wasn't much to the story of the games. In the film, George, the ape, is friends with The Rock's character and has been tested on with genetic editing as part of Project Rampage, which has caused all kinds of side effects, including his growth. It looks like a higher-tiered kaiju-style film and could end up being a whole lot of fun. After first being teased Thanos during the mid-credits scene of the original Avengers movie, we're finally about to see several of the Marvel Cinematic Universe storylines paying off in the Avengers Infinity War. According to Infinity War co-director Joe Russo, every story that Marvel has told since Iron Man 1 finds a narrative thread in these next two Avenger movies. It is a culmination of all that storytelling. If it's not an exciting enough prospect that this is finally the culmination of 18 films, every major hero from the MCU is said to appear in the film in order to fight back against Thanos, so it should be an action-packed spectacle. Han Solo returns, but instead of Harrison Ford playing the legendary smuggler, we'll see Alden Ehrenreich of Hail Caesar take the reins. It's hard to imagine someone else playing the role, as Harrison Ford is such a major component of the character, and the production has had notorious problems, including a changing of director, reshoots, and an acting coach hire for Alden Ehrenreich. However, in an interview with comicbook.com at the AARP Movies for Grown-Up Awards, Rian Johnson, director of The Last Jedi, proclaimed, "I knew the trailer was coming, but I was still clicking, yeah, and I think it looks so beautiful. I can't wait for people to see more of the film. It's so fun, it's so funny. The cast is so charismatic, and I think they all just did a great job with it." Of course, how important you consider Rian Johnson's praise for the movie will depend on your thoughts on The Last Jedi, as that movie had fans split, to say the least. Regardless of if you're excited for Solo or not, it's certainly set to be one of the major releases of the year, this time coming out in May, as opposed to the normal December date of the prior recent Star Wars films. After the surprise success that was the R-rated Deadpool, Deadpool 2 was an obvious candidate to get a sequel. Despite a relatively low superhero film budget of an estimated $58 million, the original grossed over $780 million, making it the highest grossing R-rated film. Not adjusted for inflation. In other words, because studios like money, there's obviously a sequel. Similar to the comics, Deadpool will be teaming up with Cable, portrayed by Josh Brolin. Expect plenty of humor, action, snide comments, and dick jokes. Sometimes it might even break the fourth wall. Although, apparently the movie is actually going under reshoots because some test audiences didn't respond well to it. But at the moment, that's just a rumor. So, here's to hoping. Okay, let's just get this over with right now. The Ghostbusters reboot was a disaster, a movie that didn't need to happen, and was simply a bad film. Okay, we good? Can I talk about another all-female movie now? Unlike Ghostbusters, Ocean's 8 isn't a reboot of the original Ocean's 11 property, but rather an all-female spin-off starring Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett. And so long as they aren't trying to remake the original, I can get down with this. Similarly, it's a comedy heist film, this time with the crew trying to rob a necklace during the Met Gala. While it's the same overall premise of Ocean's 11, with a ragtag crew of robbers with different specialties going about a heist, I enjoy a good heist film and will be hoping for the best. The Incredibles is my favorite Pixar franchise, so I was beyond excited when it was announced that The Incredibles would finally be getting a sequel. What happened to the Underminers?
We meet again.
Not much, as it turns out from the trailer. This time around, it looks like Mr. Incredible is playing the stay-at-home dad, as Elastigirl becomes the face of superheroes, so expect a lot of superpowered parenting from this upcoming sequel. Jurassic World was a smash hit when it released in 2015, with the Jurassic Park sequel blowing away all expectations, becoming one of the highest grossing films of the 2010s. It also helped cement Chris Pratt's star power, who portrayed Owen Grady, a dinosaur trainer. In the Fallen Kingdom, Owen Grady must return to the island in order to save dinosaurs from extinction as a volcano is erupting. Notably, Jeff Goldblum returns as Ian Malcolm for Jurassic World in what's said to be a cameo, which will be great to see. The question of if a volcano will serve as an exciting enough antagonist for the film waits to be seen, although there's sure to be some sort of corporation attempting to use dinosaurs for evil. You think at some point they'd learn dinosaurs don't make great super weapons? But then we wouldn't get sequels! Sicario, an action thriller released in 2015, was both a critical and commercial success, showcasing the drug war between the US and Mexican border. Unlike many films on this list, Sicario showcases real-world violence and issues happening today, and areas where morals turn from black and white to gray. Sicario 2 Soldado, translated as Hitman 2 Soldier, continues to follow the drug trade as the cartel have begun trafficking terrorists into the US. With how good the first film was, and the same writer on board, Sicario 2 is definitely a movie to watch this year. Despite all expectations for a series running as long as Mission Impossible, the latest films in the series, Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, have been some of its best. And since Tom Cruise somehow still looks practically the same age as when Mission Impossible was first turned from TV series to film franchise in 1996, seriously, what magic genes does he have? Do I need to join the Church of Scientology? Is Tom Cruise secretly an alchemist and found the Holy Grail? He returns once again as Ethan Hunt. This time around, Ethan Hunt finds the CIA questioning his loyalty after a mission goes wrong, and he's on a race against time to prevent disaster. Similar to previous films, this is geared up to be yet another high-quality action flick. The first Predator film is an action film classic and considered to be one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's greatest films, along with The Terminator and Jingle All the Way. But the Predator franchise slowly declined over time, with 2010's Predator seeing mediocre reviews and failing to make back its costs. That said, Shane Black, director of Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys, and one of my favorites, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, is directing the upcoming film along with co-writing it. So hopefully with the right talent behind the camera, we can see this franchise reinvigorated to its testosterone-bound glory. But what films are you looking forward to the most in 2018 while we all wait for Creed 2 and Fantastic Beasts 2? Because, I mean, come on, Creed 2 is gonna be incredible, and more Harry Potter, that's what I want. But what do you want? Let us know in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter at @TheDaveKlein. And more importantly, which Chris is your Chris? That's what we really need to know. You know it's Chris Pratt. We all know it's Chris Pratt. Chesley, who do you think it is? Who's your Chris?
Pratt.
Good.
Definitely Chris Pratt.
Brian? Greg?
Chris Evans.
What?
Get out. Get out of the studio.
US